Hello, Bar here, your neighborhood Lieblingskünstler. This is the first video for the channel, and today we're going to be talking about the balloon ride in Cappadocia. I know there's 1,000 videos about going on a balloon ride in Cappadocia, but none of them really, they're all like commercials, you know, like, oh, look what we did, da-da-da-da-da. This is going to be the behind the scenes, the nuts and bolts of like how that actually works. So how did we get there? So we were already going to Cappadocia and you can also say Cappadocia. It's like saying Germany or Deutschland. It's the same. But we're just going to go with Cappadocia because that's what I'm doing. Anyway, so we went to Cappadocia not for the balloon ride. Maybe to see the balloons up into the sky. That was kind of cool, whatever. But we went to see all the Byzantine stuff, and the next video that we're going to make is going to be about our travels around the area, which is going to be also cool. But anyway, so the reason I did not want to go on a balloon ride is because when the kids, they want to go on a balloon ride, right? So I Googled it. Between the four of us, it's going to be like €1,000. You think I'm paying that? No, it's just not going to happen. I'm not paying €1,000 for a 1-hour ride. It's just not going to work out like that. And I don't know, like, how the safety and everything else like that, because, I don't want to end up on Al Jazeera of, these tourists ended up crashing into something in the middle of nowhere in Turkey, because I've never been to the area. I don't know how anything is working over there. First time. So we get there, and we get to the hotel, and the concierge are so nice. And we stay in Airbnbs, but this time we stayed in a hotel. And they're like, so you came for the balloon ride? No, did not come for the balloon ride. We came to go to all these other places, but not on a balloon. We'll see them. It's fine. And they're like, well, why not? Like, you came all the way here. You're not going to go on a balloon ride. I'm like, well, I looked it up, and it's kind of expensive. And they're like, well, I have a cousin that owns a balloon. I can give him a call. Give them a call, because I looked it up and it's €1,000, and they're like, no, we can get you in for €100 a piece, so it's €400, way different than 1,000. So I don't know I don't know why it's so expensive online, but in person in Cappadocia it's way cheaper. And if you drive around, there's a lot of people that have little signs and stuff like that. It's like, balloon ride, this many euros. None of them are €250 a piece. None of them. But I'm still kind of worried about, the safety and stuff like that. And so I look it up, and it's like 33 people out of 100,000 actually get injured. And most of those are from wearing incorrect shoes, because, when you land and someone twists an ankle, they go to the hospital, it comes up as a check mark of they got injured on a balloon. Probably from Instagram models, whatever, I don't know. But, and then I was talking, because they have this little courtyard at the hotel that we were at. And I was talking to one of these other guys, and he was like, are you going to go on a balloon? Because that's going to be the main topic of discussion when you're in Cappadocia. And Gilmore, I think, is the little city that's right there, with everything going on. And I was like, no. And not really sure about safety. And he goes, oh, so I guess you don't know. I was like, I don't know. It's like, this is where all the pilots come from, like all over the world. They come to Cappadocia for like the training. They do to school here, and they have to have 1,000 hours of service of flying the balloons before they're even allowed to get a pilot's license to like fly it by themselves. It's like 1,000 hours. They're doing it 1 hour at a time. You're looking at 3-4 years, because they don't fly them every day. And if there's anything wrong with the weather, poof, they turn that off. And we met another family that came from Mexico when we first got there. They were there for 5 days, and they didn't even expect to stay that long, but they were extending their plane tickets because they kept turning off the balloons for the weather. And then they had to pack out because, you know, flying from Mexico to Cappadocia, that takes a couple days. And they went all the way there to fly the balloons and had to leave with no balloon ride, which, you know, sucks. And then the next day, I come out of the hotel room because, you know, I'll wake up pretty early, and there's balloons everywhere. It was kind of amazing. And now I'm kind of interested, you know, so I'm like, okay, well, maybe. And we, you know, did some other traveling around and stuff like that, and get back and I talked to the concierge, and I was like, does your cousin still have maybe a spot? And they're like, yeah, he does. Okay, and I'll tell you the 4 spots, because he had 4 spots left. And I ended up getting those 4 spots for like 300 euro. Would I do it like that again? I don't know, because it's, you know, space available, and it's like dynamic pricing, like an airplane or something like that, you know. So anyway, so the experience of actually getting on a balloon. We're going to go through the nuts and bolts of this also. So you got to wake your kids up, and it's just like the dad's version. So if your dad's taking you to Cappadocia and he doesn't want to take you on a balloon, send him this video, and he can talk to the Vista Bar, like, you know, through YouTube. This is how we're going to do it. So they have a bus that comes and picks you up, like one of those Mercedes Sprinter vans, you know, kind of buses. And I think they picked us up at 5 a.m., maybe 4:45, something like that. So you got to get your kids up at like early and get them ready and get them photo ready, which and to do all the hair and makeup and all that kind of stuff, you know. And so they drive you out there to like the middle of this field. Do you think you could drive there by yourself? No, it's not possible. So you get to this like giant field, and there's balloons and there's generators and fans and stuff going on crazy. And I find this very interesting. So I'm making a video and I'm like backing away from the balloon to watch it like fill up, because I've never seen a hot air balloon fill up like that before, you know. It's interesting. And I just took it to put on Facebook, not on YouTube, but we're gonna try putting it on YouTube. We'll see how this goes. They almost left me behind, so don't do that. And also bring out, even though Cappadocia, we went, you know, it's summertime, but in an early morning like that, it's kind of cold. And so bring like a hoodie or something like that, because it's kind of chilly, especially if you're that early in the morning. And when you get up in air, it's also kind of chilly. So bring a jacket, and then bring like tennis shoes. That's would be my recommendation. But yeah, so you fly. These guys, they're very professional. They're on the walkie-talkies. They're talking to the other balloon drivers. There's a lot of stuff going on. And so, you know, there's all these different tours that you can take. You can take the private tour, or the group tour, or like the regular one. That's the one we took. And so this balloon, the basket, is kind of organized where you have like 4 little pods that hold 4 people each here. And then the driver, or I guess the pilot and the co-pilot, like kind of in the middle. And it's kind of nice that way, because you're not like stuck with a lot of people that you don't know. Like, you're not just like roaming around this whole basket, and you don't have to worry about like your children going all the way over there or falling off the balloon or something like that, because you have them like in your own little pod about big enough to hold 4 people, and still have enough room to kind of move around a little bit and stuff like that. So it was comfortable. And this guy, he's like flying through the little ferry chimneys, and I'm like, this guy's gonna crash. Oh, no. And then zoof, and then comes right back up. I don't understand anything about flying hot air balloons, and I'm trying to figure out the math of this. Like, how is he doing it? And I asked the pilot, I'm like, how do you move it like this? Like, he's driving it like a car, you know? Because the wind, this and this. didn't get a whole lot of information from the guy. But so, to tell you the truth, you know, they had the 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour thing. An hour is fine because, you know, well, for one, there's no bathroom. So if you have to pee, you're going to have to get off somewhere. Like, and an hour is more than sufficient, what I would think, personally. Like, I was very happy with just doing an hour. I think after 2 hours, it would get kind of old because you're just kind of stuck at that point, you know. But anyway, moving on. So yeah, the guy, so he comes to land and he's on a radio with a truck, with a trailer. And they're driving around on the ground and he's coming down and they, poof, land like completely on top of the trailer with like 2 inches on each side. How does this work out? I don't know. So everyone jumps out and they have like a little, you went on a balloon party, they give you like a little certificate that you were on a balloon. Yeah. And then the Mercedes transit van or whatever comes and picks everybody up and then zooms, brings everybody back to their hotels, and then you have breakfast. And then you can look through all your photos and stuff like that and discuss it with the group. And so yeah, I don't know. If you want to go space available, it's kind of a hard decision. I mean, the way we did it, like looking back now, would have been worth €1,000. Maybe so. But yeah, it was definitely an experience, and I hope that this video brings some help to you. And that's what I'm hoping with this channel, is just to be helpful as possible. Bis dann, das Fußball, bis next Mal, and see us at the next video when we're going to talk about just the trip around Cappadocia in general.